Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Valentine's has come and gone and I am still feeling like I really want to use some red. So we're going to continue in that theme, but they're not really like Valentine's-y, but they're kind of rosy and all that. But yeah, we're just going to kind of go with it. We've got a couple of different shades of like reddy / pinky undertones. So I've got like my wall full of my gel polishes and I really wanted a red. So I picked out the red first and I just started to go down the color ranges I've got and started to pick out different shades to go kind of lighter with. So we're kind of going to hop into this like, I don't know what color you'd call this, but you go for like a really nice red to this like pinky reddy shade to this very like peachy shade. Don't know, you could really like switch this up and make it kind of what you're going for. Along with that, I did also try to pick out a foil that is going to work the best with the shades that I've gone for today as well. So we do have some transfer foils today. It feels like a very long time since I've used any, so that would be really cool to include today. And we also have a marble. So with the marble, I use the kind of like squiggly brush method. So I go in with the lightest shade first, and I'm using my longest brush here too. Just find it the most fun to use, and here I just touched the white nail. That was very annoying. Then you want to clean your brush, and you kind of want to go in with the lighter shade first because it's the best way, basically. Just trust me on that one. And also you want to put the most of it because it's kind of easier to go overboard with the darker shade. And then you kind of just want to swirl it into one another until you are happy. And then you want to lastly go in with the red. As you can see, there's not that much space left, and that's how you definitely want it because the red is very overwhelming. The darker shade is always going to kind of, you know, take control the most, so you want probably the least of it on there, but it will still be very impactful. And I'm just going to swirl it around until I am happy. It's honestly been the most fun, most nicest, best way I've ever done my marble ever since I've kind of come across this method. It's my go-to now. You will not be catching me using my old method of doing a marble, definitely not. Now that everything is cured and I'm happy with the base colours, it's time to apply the transfer foil gel. So today I'm using the Macart one. It's kind of been, I've only really used 2 or 3 different companies, and to be honest, they all work just as well. I think that a lot of people struggle because we don't really fully understand how this transfer foil is a gel is supposed to work. And the trick is, guys, once you cure this, you want to leave it to chill. So which is why I'm popping that into the lamp for a cure, and now I'm going to work on another nail. Once it comes out, you want to leave it to cool down. This is the most important part, so definitely don't skip that. And then you'll notice that when you go ahead and transfer your foil, you're gonna have such a smooth experience. You're gonna love it. So whilst that's curing, I am applying a base coat on the marble nail, and I've got some Hex glitter mix that I'm gonna take out now. Here it is. So it kind of looks see-through, but it's got this like bluey, yellowy shine to it. So once it cures, especially now here when you place it down, like it kind of changed colors. It's a bit like yellowy. So once it gets put into the lamp, and later on we're gonna matte top coat, it's gonna kind of create that little nice shine to it. So I'm doing like 3 different clusters, one at the top, one at the middle, one at the bottom, and then I'm going to pop it into the lamp. I am trying to pick up like the larger ones with a mix of the smaller ones too, but I haven't really taken it out of the pot, so I'm just trying my hardest to pick up the small ones as much as I can. When it's out of the lamp, I will do another layer of base coat just to help with the evenness of the nail. And then that'll be that one done for now. So here is the transfer foil. I don't buy any like expensive transfer foils. I don't kind of believe in such a thing as like good quality transfer foil. I think it's all in the method of how you use your transfer foil gel and how you apply. If you leave it to cool down, like I mentioned before, you will have such a smooth experience. Honestly, I had to probably press this down a couple of times and it came off perfectly. And if there's any areas that didn't, you just have to go back and, you know, repress. So don't just aggressively, you know, fastly remove the foil. Just do it very slowly and lift it and just see if it transferred over nicely. If not, you can just place it right back down and then re-rub that area that needs it. I am on 2 of these nails, so one of them is going to be a full transfer of the roses. The other 2 I'm trying to focus mainly on the top, so you notice that the bottom is left. And here I'm trying to see what other little corners. I just hate being wasteful, so often I'll just kind of leave it and I'll hope that I will use those little bits later on in another design maybe, which is why you won't often find me cutting it. I just like to leave it. So here is the other one. I'm just going to remove it. Look how fast that was. I literally pressed like 3 or 4 times. Now I'm going to use some red. So this is where we're going to do a layered French tip look. And I always say this, I love the way they look. I hate doing them. It takes a lot of effort from me anyways to do them. But I'm starting off at the top there, and we're going to start off with the red. So right now I'm only going to outline. And that's very important because in my prototype that I did off camera, I didn't wipe away the transfer foil beneath that I didn't need anymore, and it did come through a little bit, so it's very important that you do wipe it. So get yourself a lint-free wipe with some acetone and just remove the little bits that you don't need, so which is why I needed to do the outline first so that I know how much of it I need to remove. And then once you're happy, you're basically gonna have to repeat the smile line look a couple of times. So you're gonna have to do it for the red, then for the middle color, and then for the bottom color again. So I will show you guys every step of the way, but only for the one nail, not both, just because it's very repetitive, and yeah, it's literally identical nails, so no need to go twice. Hopefully you don't mind. And if obviously you kind of want to relook, just replay this part again, I guess. There we go. And of course, some of those gel polishes I did have to do 2 layers, just depending on the opacity and all of that, so it will just take some time basically, this part, but I think it's quite effective, and it's a really cute little look, and just a little nice switch up from just your regular French tip look that everybody always does. Now here is that, like, I don't know, like a corally, it's really hard, I don't know, it's like a still kind of pinky ready, don't know, I just felt like it would match up. And then lastly we've got this peachy shade there, and that's going to be the bottom part, and then off that goes into the lamp. And I believe I will be doing 2 cuts of that too, although saying that, the white does kind of give a nice little background, kind of makes the colour pop really nicely, so you may not even need to do 2 coats. All depends on your gel polish. Madam Glam advertised their kind of like gel polish, or like the website is just very helpful for when you go shopping. It does show you the opacity of a gel polish, you kind of know what to expect when it comes. So they also show it on like a natural hand, on like some nails and stuff, which is really handy, so that you know the opacity, which is very useful. So at this stage I am matte top coating all the nails. Be very careful. Often these reds are very pigmented, so I find that when I'm matte top coating specifically with the matte top coat, it may smudge. So if it does, either remove the matte top coat and just give it a wipe, or just be really sneaky like me and just give it a quick float of the matte top coat on top, and then pop it into the lamp and just hope for the best. Now it's time for some nail art gel. So this is really nice because it's not too thick, not too thin. It's like the perfect consistency, and it cures tack free on top of your nails, which is great for when you've got matte top coated nails, and it just creates this nice little kind of sparkle in a way without actually including any crystals. It's really fun and nice. So I'm going to try and put that nail art gel evenly across my nail, and this part I only showed this very quick fragment because I absolutely hate doing it. I always do it because I just like the look of it, but I really hate doing it, and it's one of those where you just have to keep doing it until you've practiced enough where you just become an expert in it, and I'm still working on it. I'm trying to maintain the same thickness of the smile line, and I'm going to outline every single smile line, which is why you're going to just see the one, and the rest is off camera because it took me forever. Constant wiping, constant, fixing things up, but we got there in the end. Now onto this marble nail. I sometimes like to do these dots, and it's kind of probably not necessary, but I always have this thing where I just feel like things are just never enough, so I just need to make nails look so much more busier, but it's just my personal preference. So I'm just going to do like a clusters of a couple dots, so usually like a set of 3, 2, 1, wherever, just all around the nail. If you wanted to replace it, you could do some caviar beads instead, or some crystals too, all completely up to you, whatever you feel like, or just completely miss it if you don't like it. Then I'm going to pop that into lamp free cure as well. Remember, this cure's tack free and shiny on top of the matte nails. It honestly looks so cool. Now lastly, we are going to do some crystal placement, and this crystal placement I've done in the past, a very long time ago I think now. In the centre, I'm going to place some rhinestone glue gel from a cart all down the centre of the nail in like a line. I'm trying to be as straight as I possibly can, but you know how it is. And I've got this white rose. Preferably I would have liked the red. I don't have a red unfortunately, so I had to go in with the white, which is fine because we do have some white in the set, so we'll still feel like it, works out. And then in between where the roses are and the red crystals, I'm going to place caviar beads all down the centre in between the gaps. So right now it's going to be a bit wonky, but not to worry, because once we've done all of that, I am going to grab a tool, any tool really. I quite often like to use the cuticle tools, but whatever you've got to hand, I suppose use a dotting tool too to just help me out. And I'm going to try and straighten up everything as much as possible. So right now I'm not too fussed. I'm really focusing on just getting those caviar beads on there, because this is probably the most time consuming part as well. It just takes such a long time, but it is really effective and I do like the look of it. So I'm going to have to power through it. And then just straighten it up as much as you can and then pop it into the lamp. Of course, just things won't always become, things are just not always going to be perfect. So bear that in mind. I'm sure when you look at the final result, it might not be as straight as you possibly could, but I did my best, and all that matters, remember guys? It's all that matters as long as you've done your best. So I'll pop that into the lamp for a cure, and here are the final results. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!